Good morning, everybody. It's a real pleasure to be here today. At Transport for New South Wales, we are focused on connecting people to places. When we went out and consulted for the Long-Term Transport Master Plan and for a number of other projects, that's what we heard loud and clear from the communities. And it's also important because it increases our livability in our communities. In the last 12 months, Transport have been firmly focused on delivering better walking and cycling outcomes for the people of New South Wales. And today I'd just like to give you a little bit of an overview of what we are doing to deliver on the New South Wales Government's commitment to active transport. There have been a range of significant achievements in active transport over the last year or so, and some of the highlights have included co-hosting the Walk 21 conference. We also hosted the Australian Bicycle Council meeting in the week of Walk 21 to discuss how we can collaborate nationally for better cycling outcomes. During that same week, my secretary Dave Stewart chaired the first active transport roundtable meeting in a whole of government approach to delivering on these outcomes. We developed and rolled out new funding guidelines for our walking and cycling programs so that we could align our program delivery with our strategic intent. We continue to work closely with Roads and Maritime Services, and we've collaborated with our other delivery partners, including local government, which saw a massive increase in applications for funding this year. We continue to deliver on our funding programs. We've improved walking and cycling access to our transport services through the Transport Access Program, and we've delivered safety strategies for walking and cycling. As I said, the New South Wales Government is committed to promoting active transport, and we want to do this as part of an integrated transport solution. This commitment is reinforced at every level, from strategic planning through to delivery. The New South Wales State Plan, New South Wales 2021, includes specific targets to increase the mode share of walking and cycling. The New South Wales Long-Term Transport Master Plan reinforced the commitment to promote walking and cycling through the development of specific plans for each of these modes. And in December 2013, the New South Wales Government launched Sydney's Walking Future and Sydney's Cycling Future. These documents were then followed by the release of 10 regional transport plans, and together these plans set out the strategic framework for active transport across New South Wales. This represents the first time the New South Wales Government has had a set of comprehensive plans for active transport that cover the whole state. The plans highlight the important role that walking and cycling play in creating livable communities and the part they play in connecting people to places and to other forms of transport. They also outline a new approach to prioritising our investment in cycling and walking networks using a catchment-based approach to make active transport a more convenient, safer and healthier choice for everyday transport. The key elements of our new catchment-based planning approach include focusing our investments where they are likely to have the greatest impact. This is within 2 kilometre walking catchments and 5 kilometre cycling catchments of busy centres and interchanges. Promoting the use of existing infrastructure, especially for short trips, with initiatives such as better trip planning, wayfinding and travel behaviour change programs. And also working collaboratively with our partners, particularly local councils, who we will support to integrate walking and cycling into their visions for the future through their community strategic plans. Our funding program for the active transport area is significant and has been directly aligned to support our strategic objectives and our plans. We're delivering across the active transport program across 5 streams. Within the walking program, the Walking Community stream funds both regional and metropolitan projects to better connect walking infrastructure and programs to encourage walking. This is through a mix of 50-50 partnership funding with local councils and 100% funding for New South Wales priority projects. The Pedestrian Bridges stream is 100% funded by the government to develop and build pedestrian bridges. Within the cycling program, there are 3 streams. Connecting Centres is also a 50-50 partnership funding with local councils for regional and metropolitan areas to connect and develop infrastructure to encourage cycling. The priority cycleway stream is a 100% government funded stream to deliver on the government commitment to strategic cycleways as stated in Sydney's Cycling Future, and it applies to metropolitan areas. We also have a cycling town stream, another 100% government funded stream for regional centres to encourage cycling and connecting up major land uses, complemented by council funded initiatives in those areas. Delivering on these strategies is critical to us, and getting it right and getting the right projects is important. In order to support our programs and our strategies, we needed to provide improved guidance for both our internal staff and for councils and our partners. And so we're very proud that my team at the end of last year developed and implemented the Active Transport Funding Guidelines for the Active Transport Program. These were approved by both the Minister for Transport and the Minister for Roads and Freight in December last year, and the funding guidelines have been used and applied across all 5 streams of the Active Transport Program. The guidelines take into account the catchment planning approach that we talked about to assess and prioritise all of those applications for funding which is consistent with our strategies to connect people with major centres and transport interchanges. And as I said earlier, that catchment is 2 kilometres for walking and 5 kilometres for cycling. These distances make it easier for people to get where they need to go using an active transport mode. The funding guidelines were used for the first time to assess our 2015-16 round of funding applications and included a potential to apply for non-infrastructure interventions. Some examples have included initiatives to promote walking as a transport choice and bicycle confidence courses. The response to the new guidelines has been excellent. We had 648 submissions received for funding this year under consideration for our 2015-16 program. This included 170 submissions from councils across metropolitan Sydney and 478 submissions across regional New South Wales councils. Critical to our success in the delivery of our programs is partnerships with local government. We're working closely with local councils to deliver on our walking and cycling improvements across the Strait through our funding program and through other initiatives. I'd like to take you through some of the broad range of active transport projects that have been a focus for us for delivery over the last year and for the coming year. Within the Sydney CBD, Sydney is being transformed with major investments in a world-class transport system. Our significant investment in light rail in the Sydney CBD heralds one of the biggest transformations in the way we move around the city in the last 50 years. As we move into the construction phase, we're focusing on working to ensure safe, easy and comfortable pedestrian access and to maintain capacity and connectivity and pedestrian flows throughout the CBD. We've also begun to deliver on a number of key actions identified in the Sydney City Access Strategy which support active transport. These have included the construction of the $306 million Wynyard Walk, which is well underway. The new link will provide access for up to 20,000 pedestrians an hour, providing a high-quality walking environment between Wynyard Station and the new developments in Barangaroo. The Wynyard Walk link is expected to open next year. We've lowered the speed to 40 kilometres per hour in high pedestrian areas within the Sydney CBD, and we're working with the City of Sydney to complete the strategic bicycle network in the CBD. Kent Street Cycleway extension has been completed, the Castlereagh Street Cycleway construction has commenced, and we're continuing planning and design for the remaining cycleway links, including the Liverpool Street Cycleway. We've also implemented a countdown timer pilot project, which is being trialled in the CBD. In Sydney's Walking Future, we committed to co-hosting the Walk 21 International Conference in partnership with the City of Sydney. The conference, held in October last year, brought together international experts in the walking area with over 500 delegates. It provided a fantastic opportunity for the New South Wales Government to showcase our investments in walking and cycling and in livability. Some of the outcomes that were achieved included the New South Wales Whole of Government Active Transport Roundtable, as I mentioned, chaired by the Secretary of Transport for New South Wales, which resulted in a range of actions to promote active travel across government. there was the signing of the Walk 21 International Charter on walking by over 21 councils, and the New South Wales Active Travel for Children Charter, launched by the Assistant Minister for Health and supported by Transport for New South Wales. We're also delivering walking projects across the broader metropolitan Sydney area. Some of our achievements have included a significant proportion, over 3/4 of the $770 million investment in the Transport Access Program will benefit pedestrians. By improving access and amenity around our transport interchanges through excellent design and the provision of facilities, including lighting, CCTVs, better security, undercover areas, seating and better pathways. This program includes a $150 million package to upgrade 6 busy Western Sydney train stations, including Penrith, Pendle Hill and Blacktown stations, which will receive major upgrades, including new lifts and ramps, upgrades to the station concourses and pedestrian links. The completion of a full separated walking and cycling link along the Bay Run, delivered through the Cycleways program, was another achievement for us. Other things have included new treatments at traffic signals in Rockdale and Sutherland, and new crossings in Beaconsfield and Parramatta. Other major walking projects which are underway include the Nepean River Green Bridge, which will link the communities of Penrith and Emu Plains and is expected to be completed in 2017. The Albert Tibby Cotter Walkway at Moore Park, which is planned to be operational in time for the Cricket World Cup, will improve access to the Moore Park area and to the South East Light Rail project. We've continued work on the active transport link from Bondi to the CBD. The Arncliffe pedestrian underpass under the railway will improve connectivity to the nearby college and improve safety around some of the local streets that are quite busy in the area. Planning and design for a pedestrian bridge at Beecroft and several other locations will improve connectivity and safety in our local communities. Some of our achievements for cycling in metropolitan Sydney were highlighted in the Sydney Cycling Future. We committed to improving connectivity and making cycling a viable transport choice by completing priority connections to North Sydney, Bondi Junction, Randwick, Green Square, the airport and the inner west suburbs, and within the 5 kilometre catchments of our regional cities, Parramatta, Penrith, Liverpool and Blacktown. Making it easier for people to ride for transport by investing in state priority bicycle corridors to safely link customers to our major centres, improving access to public transport and encouraging customers to ride for part of their journey by providing new bicycle parking at interchanges, and promoting cycling through improved trip planning information, wayfinding and encouragement initiatives. Some of our major cycling investment projects in delivery over the last year have included the critical missing links in the Parramatta Valley Cycleway, which are being completed with joint funding from the New South Wales Government, the Commonwealth Government and Parramatta Council. And this supports our whole of government approach that's highlighted in the Sydney Cycling Future. The missing links will form part of an 11.4 kilometre cycleway to help promote cycling and walking throughout Western Sydney. Projects have included the new portals through Lennox Bridge, which are nearing completion. The iconic boardwalks along Parramatta River are about to commence, and the Balladary wetlands have been completed. This will provide access to the heart of Parramatta CBD, Westmead Hospital and the University of Western Sydney. The first stage of the Eastern Suburbs Cycleway link along the northern border of Centennial Park was officially opened in December last year, with the remaining stages currently under development. Once completed, the link will improve access from Bondi Junction through to the Sydney CBD. Other major projects being delivered in 2014-15 to promote walking and cycling include a new walking and cycling link along Richmond Road in Blacktown, and another walking and cycling link along the Great Western Highway to St Mary's. There are a number of other projects which are underway. We've been scoping and designing for the North Shore Cycleway, which will improve access from one of Sydney's busiest cycle corridors, linking North Sydney to the Sydney CBD. We've also undertaken a study of route options for the Sutherland to Cronulla Active Transport link, and this will inform the next steps of our project, and development will continue throughout 2015. Detailed planning is nearing completion on our new secure access bike and ride parking facilities at 9 transport interchanges across Sydney: Redfern, Parramatta, Penrith, Liverpool, Blacktown, Campbelltown, Woy Woy, Gosford and Hornsby. We'll be rolling out that program across a number of interchanges over the coming years, and the new facilities will be conveniently located near the station entrance, making it easy for people to leave their car at home and cycle to their local interchange. The new facilities are expected to be rolled out in the second half of 2015, with plans to further expand the program across the network in an ongoing way. Across regional New South Wales, there's been an allocation of over $9 million through the Walking Communities program in 2014-15, with 146 projects delivered across the state. Just to name a few, some of these included new treatments at signals in Wollongong and crossings in Newcastle, traffic signals at Bateman's Bay, delivered in partnership with Eurobodalla Shire Council, and a range of pedestrian improvements in the Northern Tablelands with Glen Innes Severn Council. Under the TAP program, we are implementing major station upgrades at Albury with pedestrian crossings and disability compliant facilities, and at Wagga Wagga with CCTV and lighting to improve pedestrians' personal security, as well as accessible paths and parking. The New South Wales Government has also recently announced it has been able to finalise the scope and fast-track our tender process for a major access upgrade at Wentworth Falls. There's been a development of a walkability index for the state to help guide our planning and investment for livability and local places and spaces. Completing the next phase of the Safety Around School program will see us by the end of 2015, with every school in New South Wales having a set of flashing lights. Delivering cycling projects across regional New South Wales. We'll be selecting 2 towns for funding under the new Cycling Towns initiative. The Cycling Towns program was identified as an action in the 10 regional transport plans. The aim of the program is to increase cycling mode share by focusing the delivery of cycle infrastructure to encourage bike riding in regional centres. Cycling towns are partnerships between the New South Wales Government and local councils and require strong commitment from our local government partners to maintain the infrastructure and carry out the promotional activities. Successful cycling towns must demonstrate a strong cycle catchment in terms of connecting people to their major destinations. In 2015 and beyond, we'll continue to work with our whole of government partners to support the actions that promote active transport and to integrate transport and strategic land use planning. With more customers walking and cycling every day, our investments in active transport will contribute to more livable communities by reducing the burden of road congestion, freeing up capacity on public transport, and creating socially connected communities that people want to visit, work and live in. We will continue to deliver on the core elements of our cycle and walking strategies to connect, engage and promote active transport in New South Wales. Thank you.